So, good morning everyone. My name is Jericho Siroga. So, I am going to report about pop art. So, what is pop art? Pop art is an art based on modern popular culture and the mass media, especially as a critical or ironic comment on traditional fine art values. So, pop art is what we commonly see in television, like advertisements of product, which goal is basically to promote products. Ad- Pop art is basically a popular art that is widely known and recognized by people because of mass media. And the content of pop art is usually based on modern popular culture. In short, it is based on what is trend or what is trending in our modern culture. Also, pop art is commonly used in commercial to promote consumer products. So the term pop art is short for popular art. It showcases common household objects and consumer products like Coca-Cola and Campbell's soup cans, as well as widely diverse forms of media such as comics, newspaper, and magazines. Pop artworks done by artists were often made using mechanical or commercial technique such as silk screening, printing, collage, mixed media, and Ben-Day dots. So here's an example of pop artwork. So next, pop art common techniques. So first, we have the printmaking and silk screen. Printmaking and silk screen printing were two of the most prominent painting techniques used by pop art artists. Within printmaking, there are four common techniques. These are woodcut, etching, lithography, or screen printing. Screen printing is traditionally called silk screening printing and also known serigraphy, and serigraph printing is a technique by which an image is created by placing a stencil upon the medium and applying ink to the stencil. Many different materials can be used to record the print, including canvas, paper, and plexiglass. So, an example of a printmaking on silk screen is the famous Campbell soup can by Andy Warhol. So, next technique is collage. So, collage is one of the most known techniques not just in pop art but also in other art styles, and I guess collage seems familiar to you since it is common and widely known technique when it comes to arts. So collage was one of the first techniques used by pop art artists. Although collage on its own is not a painting technique, it was used in conjunction with other painting techniques on a single canvas or surface. The technique involved the layering of images cut or ripped from advertisements and magazines and newspapers onto a canvas or other surface. So as you can see in this example at the right side, every piece of image that is being ripped is put together like a puzzle. So that is an example of collage. So next is mixed media. Mixed media techniques are similar to collages and can include some collage that use multiple techniques. However, mixed media techniques can also expand to the use of three-dimensional or other objects. So when we say 3D, it has three dimensions of length, width, and height, and it gives appearance of depth or varying distances. A three-dimensional movie, just like in the example Captain America by Tommy, as you can observe, it's like Captain America seems going to throw a hit and it seems realistic. So next is the Ben-Day dots. So Ben-Day dots are created using Ben-Day process, which was invented in 1879, some 60 years before the pop art movement. The technique was created by illustrator and printer Benjamin Henry Day Jr. a few decades before the pop art movement. This printing techniques was primarily used as a commercial art technique for printing comics or photo engravings. While the Bende process is most well known for its series of dots, other shapes can also be used, including parallel lines, textures, irregular effects, and wave lines. So Bende dots is basically a digital printing. So an example of this is the Digital Pixel by Roy Lichtenstein. So next is pop art is an artistic movement that was begun in the 1950s and thrived in the 1960s in America and Britain, getting their inspiration from sources in popular and commercial culture. So, pop art began in 1950s and reaches its highest peak in 1960s. So, it started as an uprising against the leading approaches to art culture and traditional views on what art should be. So, pop art. So, pop art emerged due to the young artists feeling that what they were taught and what they saw in museum does not have anything to do with them. Due to their perception and realization, pop art happens. Also because young artists turned instead to sources such as Hollywood movies, advertising, product packaging that shocked the modernists by the pop artists due to the use of such low subject matter and by their uncritical treatment for it. So, among the best artists that shaped the pop art movement were Eduardo Paolozzi, Richard Hamilton, Andy Warhol, Jasper Johns, and Roy Lichtenstein. So, pop art artists and their pop art works. So, first is Andy Warhol's Campbell soup cans. So, Warhol made the Campbell soup cans on 1962. So, silk screening is the technique used in this pop artwork. The reason why he paint this because he likes soup. So second is Dawning Girl by Roy Lichtenstein. So Roy Lichtenstein is an American artist. This pop artwork was published in 1963. This imagery of pop artwork created by Roy Lichtenstein can be found in comic book. So I Was a Rich Man's Plaything by Eduardo Paolozzi. So the work of pop art is collage. So this work of pop art is collage. It is made from different pieces of commercially printed paper stuck onto a single piece of card that is slightly narrowed than a single page of a tabloid newspaper. So Eduardo Paolozzi is the father of British pop art. So next is just what is it that makes today's home so different, so appealing by Richard Hamilton. So this pop art, this collage was the first work of pop art to achieve iconic status. It was made in 1956. This had an effervescent atmosphere and it is considered a landmark in 20th century in British because of its starting prophetic qualities. So next is Three Flags by Jasper Johns. So Jasper Johns' Three Flags is an essential work of pop art and exemplifies his mature style. It lays clear his desire to question popular imagery through painting in order to encourage the viewer to examine how we look at the world around us. So that's all. Thank you for listening and I hope that you learned something from my report. Thank you.